You have to carry people load, get licks from your boss, and as a wood and this whole wood you have to eat. But as a bed bug, a bite in the human meat.
You know, they grounded all of those Boeings after that door flew off. That Alaska Airlines flight, a lot of people saw the video. I thought it was just a window that blew out.
No, it was the whole door.
It was the full-on door. They call it the door plug. These people, they had to turn around, go back to Portland, I think, or something. And so in the process, the Boeing 737 MAX 9 planes are United suspended the service, and Alaska Airlines or somebody said we're grounding all these planes. They're not going to go anywhere while we check them. And, of course, they start to check some of these planes. They're like, yeah, there's a lot of loose bolts in here. That's got to make you feel good.
That's always what you want to hear.
But there's a family in Colorado. Well, they're from Colorado. They're currently stranded in Jamaica because the flights are grounded. And so the kids are late for school. They're in Montego Bay. Hey. Have you ever been to Montego Bay?
Yeah.
Mary hasn't, but
No.
we have.
Of course not.
Montego Bay. We did a show trip there, of course, the fall of 2016. Flew back the night after the election. And so they're stuck in Montego Bay, and they're kind of chuckling about it. They're like, but we can't really enjoy ourselves here, even though we're in a nice place, because we don't know when we're coming home. I mean, again, you know, if you're going to get stranded somewhere, I think you
There's
probably...
worse places.
Yeah. I think there's probably worse places to be. They're not stranded in Irkutsk. They're in Montego Bay. But it was funny
But
with
who pays for them to be there, though? Like, is the
I think
airline paying to put them up?
Yeah, I think the airline puts them up. But she's like, we were at the airport. We were ready to go home to Denver. We're ready to do everything. And the pilot, she goes, the pilot comes running out of the cockpit, distraught. And even they didn't know what was going on because you could
They're
basically
probably stranded too, right?
Yeah, you get a call from the FAA. They go, we can't go anywhere. Everybody's got to get off the plane. So they grounded a bunch of these flights after that door blew off. And the airline took people to a hotel a couple hours away. But the family was like, well, we're going to stay near the airport, so we'll be ready to go if there's some update. But the line that jumped out at me that I thought was funny, that I think probably a lot of families can identify with, is the mom goes, it's been a good time, but we were here for 10 days, and that was pushing it. So another 7 is just too long. Because it doesn't matter where you go. 10 days with your family, after a while, you're like, I got to get the hell out of here. I want to sleep in my own bed. We've eaten all the food. We've seen everything we're going to see. And they're ready to get the hell out of Montego Bay, Jamaica.
Here's my question, though. So I'm watching the video of this door opening, and everyone's just chilling. But is that a myth then? That
you get sucked out of the...
That you get sucked out?
Yeah.
Well, not that you get sucked out, but they were talking to a guy from the NTSB on CNN the other night, and this guy's like, it sucked headrests off of seats. It's one of the seats. I think what saved people is that there was nobody sitting there. I mean, thank God. They were like, no one was sitting in those seats, but the seats nearby, like the frame was bent. You get depressurized like that, it's a big deal. So I was kind of surprised at how chill people were, but I think it's because nobody was sitting in that row. And they weren't, I don't think they were like full cruising altitude. They were like at 13,000 feet. If they had been further into the trip, people would have died on that.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. So I think it was just lucky.
How cold would that be?
Well, again, they
cold.
weren't to the full cruising altitude. I mean, they were still kind of on the ascent.
Birds and everything flying in.
So the guy
How
was...
high do you think birds fly?
I don't know.
Birds fly pretty high.
How am I supposed to know that?
They're not at cruising altitudes of
But at some point, they're going to have to
airliners.
get lower, even when they're landing. Like, birds see something, and they're like, oh, let me fly near that. There's, like, birds hitting, like, the cockpit all the time.
Listen, I just took my daughter. Speaking of movies, we just saw the movie Migration. So I think I can speak on this topic for a little bit, Bill, as it was a family of animated mallards that were flying to Jamaica. It's coming full circle.
Oh. Did they get grounded? Did
They
get stuck
seemed
there?
they seem to be flying pretty pretty high. Pretty. This says birds usually fly relatively low, but migrating birds may climb to around 20,000 feet.
Okay.
Birds fly pretty. Again, it's not, up there with airlines, but I think if this plane
20,000 feet's nothing to sneeze
nothing
at,
to
though.
joke at.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if this plane had gotten halfway through the trip, there would have been some serious
Problems. Yeah.
it would have been a tragedy. So this door, and the guy was this NTSB guy in CNN. He was like, everybody looks pretty calm in that video, but there was probably a lot of screaming. I mean, if you were on a flight,
And the door
No
flew
cell
off.
phone video? How is there no cell phone
there
video?
was. There was a
There
girl on
was.
TikTok that was like,
Oh.
the door just flew off. I thought she said window, but that was the first video I had seen. Was in this girl was a few rows behind and across the aisle, and she's like, "Yeah, so we're trying to leave Portland, and the door just flew off." That's what I love too. Nothing stops people from filming. Nothing. There could be screaming and people yelling and punching. There was some other guy on a flight who just got drunk and stood up and started screaming that he was the devil and he's punching his girlfriend in the face. And they're like, people are just filming him. Door flies off. Let's put it on TikTok. And that's what this girl did. They found an iPhone that fell 16,000 feet. I'm like, that's amazing PR for Apple.
I was gonna say, was it destroyed?
No, still worked.
It's like this outer box is out of this world.
Not even that. I don't know what kind of case it was in, but the phone was still working. I'm like, iPhone sales are famously in a slump right now. They've kind of hit critical mass on
'Cause
those
they lie.
phones. Well, about what?
Remember they lied to me about how all the phones were like on back order, and I got it like the next day.
Well,
They're trying to rush
Apple
people
lied to
sale.
you or the local store lied to you?
No, I was on the phone with someone.
Mm.
Like, so I assume it was Apple. I don't know.
Well, their sales are in a slump, but this is like a tailor-made commercial for them.
Meanwhile, I cracked my screen while I was pooping, and I put my phone up on the...
Yeah, you dropped it from like 3 feet high and it cracked.
Yeah, right in the corner there. Now, in my defense, I didn't take off I have a screen protector that like shields. No one can look at my screen from like the side or backwards. So I have not taken that screen protector off. So I don't know if the screen is cracked or if it's just the protector that's cracked. I don't want to find out.
Wait,
but-
why don't you take the protector off and find out?
Because I don't know if it's holding it together. It might be worse if
I see.
like so
Holding it in.
It just looks like a crack. I don't know if it's like if I disrupt that, then it's gonna like chip.
So you have the thing where people can't look at your phone on an angle
Correct.
to see what?
Anything.
Anything. Just it's
What are
just
you worried about them seeing?
nothing. It's just my screen. It's
Like, I don't have anything like that on my phone.
Me either.
That's just my choice. But what are you? I'm not worried. I guess I'm not worried
I don't
about
know.
people looking at my
people-
screen while I'm on my phone.
people reading my text messages.
But
like that?
everybody
I don't-
else is on their nose is in their own phone.
But I look at other people. Like if someone's directly.
That's you because you're a psychotic.
If someone's directly in front of me and their screen is bright, yes, I will just. Out
Why?
of human nature, I will look at their screen. Because,
no, that's your nature.
No,
It's
people.
not
do
human
that.
nature. I can honestly tell you, I've never looked over someone's shoulder to see what they're doing on their phone.
All right,
I do on planes.
I'm gonna light up.
On planes.
See,
if
can you
someone's
see that on the
sitting
camera, Bill?
directly next to me texting, I'll look and see what they're saying.
Can you see that my screen is on?
No.
Only time I ever looked over and saw a woman was at the Bob Seger show a couple years ago because the woman next to me had 65-point font on her phone.
Yeah.
So I just happened to look over. I saw something in my periphery, and it was this woman texting. I'm like, holy Christ. That's really big font.
It's really funny whenever when you see somebody that has the big font that's not like really old, it's always I always like to make fun of them. Chad Daniels has big font. He does big font.
And what do you say to him?
I'm just like,
You're old,
you're old.
LOL.
You're old.
You're old,
Your-
Al.
Your eyes suck. Your big stupid font.
But he probably can't. When your text comes in or whatever, it probably fills up the whole screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're old, LOL, and that takes up the whole screen
Mhm.
because the font's so big. Well, anyway, then I guess if Poundcake is anywhere near you, you should hope you have one of those on your phone. Or he will.
I ain't got nothing to hide.
What's the
Look at what's coming in.
what's the visual equivalent of eavesdropping? Eyes dropping?
Uh-huh. Snooping?
Yeah,
Snooping.
or peeking.
There you go. Peeking.
I'll do that.
Again-
If someone's next to me on a plane, I'll look at their phone to see what they're watching or what. You can't really, like, when you're in that close of quarters, you can't really not see it. You know what I mean? If you're in the middle seat you see what the person next to you is doing, or texting, or whatever. Or
I don't
working.
even want to make eye contact with them. I don't want to. I mean, usually it's.
I'll look at someone filling out an Excel sheet and I'll be like, I wonder what their job is. I'll like see what their numbers are. Try to guess their job based on their Excel sheet.
I
don't know.
Hey, what you working on there, man?
What's that? We'll go. What's
like,
Q4 like?
Yeah, breaking out fourth quarter earnings. You get sucked into the most boring conversation of your life if you're not careful.
I didn't know people didn't have like those screen shields or whatever. It's just a layer of privacy, I guess. It's just a level of protection. So I'm not hiding anything in particular.
Well, I guess I thought that
privacy.
it was for protective purposes, like you said, and not. I realized that they do have those where you can't see at an angle, but
yeah, if someone's like directly behind me, I don't think you can see.
You're worried they're going to look at your phone.
Like, okay, so can you see this, Bill? Like,
Yeah.
okay, you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
No,
No.
because it blacks it out, right?
Well, no, it's I turned the light back on. Can you see it now?
No.
Okay, so it's just, I guess, directly behind me you can see me, but off to the side you can't.
Right. But for your purpose,
If you couldn't see it from directly behind, you wouldn't be able to see it either. Using it.
but what I was trying to get to is, you, and are you worried? You're like, sometimes I might be in public and I want to look at D pics.
Yeah,
Right.
of course.
Okay.
Sure.
So that's part of it.
But it's privacy. But it could be anything. Like, if something is of a private matter and someone's like texting me like, oh, so-and-so did this, why would I want someone next to me?
Because the
reading
person next to you has no idea who's talking to you or what they're
I'm
talking
looking at-
about.
Or I'm looking at my bank account.
Like if
or I'm reading an email.
flip
or
it
something.
around, if somebody next to you, if you looked at their phone, you'd have no idea what that text conversation they were having was about.
But I know what a bank account looks like. I know, like, if there's a number of.
You think you know.
No, I do. If I see a bunch of numbers with a dollar sign next to it, I know it may not be their account, but it's an account.
And what is that going to do?
I don't know. I'm seeing their private information. If I'm sending an email or if I'm any personal information, it just shields you from that. It's not like, I didn't think that was a big deal. Everyone has like a password or something. Like,
Well, that's different. Obviously, you don't want somebody getting into your phone, but looking at your phone next to you, I can't imagine anything where you'd go, oh my God, what am I going to do now? That stranger saw my phone.
I don't know. There's been plenty of times where I've opened up Twitter and it's just meat. There is absolutely times where I've just opened it for no particular reason. I'm like, oh, I'm bored. Let me look on Twitter. It's like just meat flopping. And yes, I don't want someone looking at that. You're absolutely correct.
That I understand. That I get.
But yeah,
He knows his lifestyle.
Yeah, that's just it. Like, I could open up Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and someone could simultaneously send me a D pic.
It's a lot of meat on his phone.
There's a lot of meat, and I open it up, and it's just blinking. It makes a thud, and now everyone behind me has seen that. So I just don't need it. It's just a level of privacy.
Okay.
Nothing. It's not. If I was really that worried, I wouldn't use my phone in public. Period. But no, it's just I don't need people.
Okay, well that I understand. But when you get into like texts and bank accounts, and that's a whole other thing. Like if I was looking at somebody, if I was looking straight at them and they were texting and they met my eyes, they'd be like, yeah? I'd be like, who you texting? They're like, Randy? Oh, okay.
I don't know about that because no one. Okay.
Right?
Well, maybe I'm weird. I don't know. No one wants their no one wants to feel like they're being watched. It doesn't matter if you're reading their text messages or not.
Bro, that's our whole career.
But that's for a certain amount of hours of the day. If I'm just out and someone's staring at me, texting someone, like reading from behind, you wouldn't be annoyed by that at all?
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Go ahead. I'm
not really
texting my wife.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not
what?
saying anything that important.
No, I don't have flopping meat on my phone.
Someone's going to look over my text and be like, did this bitch just discover umbrellas? Like, what?
Umbrella condoms. No, I was reading a thing. They were like, and it was really funny how it really locked in because I had my own answer in my head before I even read the whole article, and I was like, oh, they're right. They had like a staffing service website or something had surveyed people of different generations to ask them, what do you think is the most inappropriate emoji for work? Boomers, millennials, Gen Z, which is my generation, all had different answers. And in my head, and it came right up exactly. I thought eggplant, And they were like, Gen Z or Gen X thinks eggplant is the one that's the most inappropriate. Gen Z, the kids, think it's the peach.
That's your butt.
And the boomers think it's the middle finger.
Maybe the gun.
That's
That's
not
what
even
I
on
got.
there.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about the gun
It's
emoji.
a squirt. I mean, if they
It's a
changed it to a
squirt
squirt
gun
gun,
now.
but
Lame.
What about-
I think the 3 water droplets.
yeah, 3 water
the
droplets.
squirt
is what I was
emoji.
gonna say.
or if I have like a
Yeah.
kissy face.
Yeah.
They said that Gen Z thinks the peach emoji is the most offensive one at work. Millennials say the beer mug. And Gen
I
X,
didn't even use that one ever.
Gen X says eggplant, and boomers say middle finger emoji.
I would say the drool emoji because I don't ever use the drool emoji for actual drool.
Only sexting.
Yeah.
It's literally just that one is just so sloppy and nasty. I use it after everything.
I'm so used to yelling at Bill. I just called you Bill.
I'm like, I can't wait to see you later, drool face emoji. Or that was fun, drool face emoji. Like, I use it. It's literally for everything.
Well, he's got a lot of flopping meat on his phone. That stands to reason. But I mean,
Mary?
you could pick any random emoji and somebody would be upset by it.
Yeah, you can find a way.
What is
to
that? The
make it-
flag of Denmark?
I think the most
Son of a
offensive-
bitch.
The most offensive one is just that they think people are yellow.
Yeah, but can't you
You
can
can change 'em.
change their skin tone
No,
now?
I'm not gonna take that.
You're not going to do that? You're not going to hold your finger down?
I do that.
It takes forever.
2 strips of bacon emoji. I'm a vegetarian, you son of a bitch. Somebody's going to get mad. How about the antique clock emoji? 1 drop of blood emoji. Boy, you go
That
deep
one might
into
be.
these.
Look
You
at
go.
my-
I like the 3 water droplets. I like the squirt emoji. I like to
You
use
think
that for
that's the
everything.
one?
That's the one. I use it for everything. Hey, what do you want for dinner? Squirt emoji.
God, now I'm never gonna
And
be able to
then-
see the drool emoji. And
What have you been using it for? Because I've been using it the same way Cody has.
With
I
the-
don't-
I've only ever used that. I've never used it for food. That is like a sex emoji.
I've never used
I would
it.
say it's not something that I use all that often. If I've even used it, like it's probably something that I use for sexting, but it is like drool, not
Well, but it also
not what he's implying.
the face itself in that emoji, like the eyes are squinted. It looks like
Yeah.
it's getting ready to fall asleep and drooling,
Yeah.
or it's in like the post-coitus falling asleep drool emoji.
That one
The
comes with the
spit or
sound.
swallow, but don't just leave it there like that.
oh, that's not what it is.
It is
Is
to
that
Bill.
what Cody's
No,
alluding
that's what
to?
Poundcake was alluding to.
No, I don't think so. Are you?
Wait, what? What?
that
No,
it's
it's not spit or swallow.
emission?
He's being like, oh, I'm so hot for.
Yeah, that's what like if I get Brian sends me a picture and I'll respond with like the drool emoji, like oh my god, that's so hot. Makes
Poundcake
me
was saying
drool.
he didn't use it for drooling.
Yeah.
I think he meant for food though.
No, I meant it. No, I meant it for a swallow.
Oh, never mind then. That's super gross.
That's what I was saying.
I'm not on
Like I'll use it for like, yes, that's hot. I'm drooling over you, but I'm
Yes,
not.
that's how I
I'm
use
not
it.
using it for slurp it down, lady.
No.
Yeah, I send it like, bruh, and then the little drool face emoji. What? BRUHHHHH drool face emoji.
Bruh.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just trying to process it.
Well, listen. That's why.
Girth queen over there.
Yeah, we've come full circle back to hieroglyphics.
Mhm.
You can have so many more
What's the
detailed conversations with pictures.
What's the hieroglyphic that is most used for sex? For the cat? What are they doing? Is it the guy walking like this? Or that one?
Side to side?
Yeah.
The bangles?
Yep.
No, it's ancient eggplant, Bill.
Oh, okay.
Ancient eggplant. When they first learned about agriculture and things.
Before they're all GMO'd.
That's right. I have to take a break, and so I will. 5:30, next chance for you to grab $1,000. Listen for that keyword from the Buzzard bookie. If you want to go see the band Set It Off, frontman went to Oberlin. They're coming back through to do a show for you in the spring, end of March. They're on the Deathless tour right around the corner here at the House of Blues. So I'll have those tickets for you coming back.
iHeartRadio.
Alter Ego 2024.